Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Design with Roosevelt. Continuing with CSWA Practice Problems, today we'll work on question 6.2. Let's take a look at this question. So in this question, unit of measurement is millimeter gram second. Like always, we need to ensure we are using the same unit of measurement in SolidWorks setting. Now looking at this geometry, we are dealing with a symmetric geometry. You can see that we have the top view, we have section BB, section AA, and 3D model. My preference is to do this modeling in two steps. The first one is going to be focused on this circular section in the middle of geometry. You can see that we have this section, and most probably we can make this part of the geometry with revolve bus command. We can just make a profile and then revolve it around the main axis here. Then after that, I will focus on this rectangular section. After making the center part, I will focus on this rectangular section, and using bus extrude command, I will make that part. And finally, I will focus on small details like a chamfer you see for these holes. So with this introduction, let's jump into SolidWorks and start modeling this part. In SolidWorks, first we need to check unit of measurement, and you can see that we have millimeter gram second, which is a correct unit of measurement. Now let's click on sketch command and then select the sketch. And I'm going to choose the front plane. Of course, because it's a symmetric geometry and we're planning to use revolve bus command, it's always nice to have a center line. So I'm going to make this center line right here. Now, in order to use revolve bus command, we need to have a sketch. We need to have a contour to revolve it around axis of rotation. So let's focus on that part. Let's click on line command, and then I'm going to start somewhere here with a straight line like this. Now, because I want to change it to arc command, what I can do, I can move my cursor out, move it back here, and now I have this arc shape. Okay. Then we need a line. So I'm going to continue like this, and you can see SolidWorks showing me that this line is going to be tangent to the arc. Of course, this is what I want. Click here. Now, again, I want to change it to arc command. So I move my cursor out, move it back to the point. SolidWorks automatically changes the command to arc, and now I can have a nice arc here. And then I end my sketch like this. Awesome. So that's a good sketch. Rough sketch. We need to add some dimensions to make it fully defined. Okay, let's start with the arc. According to section AA, the radius of top arc should be 9 millimeter. The radius of the bottom one should be 6 millimeter. Now, looking at section AA, we can see that we need to have consistent thickness of 3 millimeter. That means both of these vertical lines should have 3 millimeter height. Looking at section AA, you can see the angle between this line and mirrored line should be 100 degrees. Because we are only considering half of the geometry here, the angle with the vertical line should be 50 degrees. So what I can do, I can click on this line, then I can click on this point of the line, and SolidWorks shows me 4 arrows. You can take advantage of these arrows to dimension angle. I'm going to choose the bottom one, and now you can see I can add angle. Of course, the angle should be 100 divided by 2, which is 50 degrees. Next, let's focus on a dimension for the center point of the bottom arc. According to section AA, the distance between the center point of the 6 millimeter arc and mirrored arc should be 45 millimeters. So I click on this center point, I click on center line, and SolidWorks shows me the distance between the center point and center line. But because we want to dimension this point to the mirrored point, I simply move my cursor to the other side of the symmetry line, and SolidWorks shows me the overall distance. Click on it and add 45 millimeter. Awesome. So now we have this dimension. Last dimension that I want to add is the distance between this line and center line. If you look at the top view, you can see that the diameter of the top hole should be 14 millimeter. That is exactly equal to the distance of this line to the mirrored line. That's basically the diameter of top hole. Because if you imagine, if you rotate this sketch around the axis of rotation, this is the part that is gonna make the top hole. So here I click and I dimension it to 14 millimeter. Okay, so here, as you can see, we added all dimensions, but it seems like that the geometry is not fully defined. We are missing one important and simple relation here. If you look at the section AA, you can see that the bottom surface of the geometry is in line with the origin of the model. So all you need to do is to click on this point, hold Control, click on the origin of the sketch, and I'm going to choose horizontal relation. And once I add this relation, the geometry is fully defined. Okay, so now there could be a question here, and someone could ask why I didn't make a full sketch. The reason is I knew that the wall thickness is same everywhere, and that's 3 millimeters. So I said, okay, maybe I can make this a sketch, and I can take care of rest by using offset command, because offset command is doing it for me really fast. So let's try that. Click on the sketch, and then click on offset entities. I want to select specific lines here. So let's deactivate select chain. The thickness is 3 millimeters because that's the overall thickness we can find in section AA. Now I select this one, I select this one, and I select this line. And that should be enough to complete this sketch. Click on OK, and that's it. As you can see, we completed a sketch with no problem. So that's my preference. Someone else could choose to model the whole things. Again, it's up to you to select whatever works for you. Okay, so now we have a fully defined geometry. It's time to use revolve bus command to make the center part of the geometry. Click on feature, click on revolve bus, and then here line is selected. So that's the symmetry line or axis of rotation. We want 360 degree, that's correct. Click on the contour and select this contour. As you can see, I don't see the preview. The reason is, for some reason, thin feature here is active. Deselect this, and now you can see the preview of the geometry. That's what exactly we want. Click on OK, and that's it. So that's the first part of the geometry. We took advantage of revolve bus command to make this part. Now let's focus on the rectangular part of geometry. In order to make that, it's super easy. Click on a sketch, and this time I'm going to choose top plane. I already have this part. So what I can do, I can click on rectangle command, and I'm going to make something like this. The overall height of the geometry is 50 millimeters. Width of the geometry is 65 millimeters. We also need 6 millimeter fillet in the corners, so I click on fillet command, change the value to 6, and select this corner, this one, and this one. Click on OK. We also need 4 holes in the center point of the fillet. So what I can do, I can click on circle command, and I make 4 circles. According to the top view, the radius of the circle should be 2.5 millimeters. So click on the smart dimension. If the radius is 2.5, the diameter is 2.5 times 2, which is 5 millimeters. And because all these circles are same, I select all circles, and I already assigned 5 millimeters, so I can simply choose equal relation, and that should be enough to define all these circles. Okay, so now we are ready to extrude this, but before that, we still need to define this circle for extrusion, because otherwise, if I extrude this rectangle, it's going to cover everything inside it. So that's not ideal. In order to fix this, it's really simple. Click on Convert Entities. If you remember, when you have a feature and you want to change that feature into a sketch, you can simply use this command. Click on Convert Entities, and I select this circle. Click on OK, and SolidWorks makes that like a circle for me. Okay, so now I have the sketch for the circle. Everything is ready. We can extrude this part. So click on Feature, click on Extrude Bus. Of course, for the thickness, we want 3 millimeters, and that's it. Basically, we are extruding this geometry up to this edge. Click on OK, and that's it. So now we have our geometry made. Last step is to add chamfer to these holes. According to section BB, we need 1.5 millimeter chamfer with 45-degree angle. In order to add chamfer, all you need to do is to go to Feature tab, and then here, click on the drop-down menu for the fillet and choose chamfer. By default, we have 45 degree, so this is good. Just change this number to 1.5 millimeter. Simply select this one, this, and this one. Click on OK, and that's it. So that's the final step in making this geometry. Now it's time to check the total volume and make sure that this model is correct. Let's go back to the question and check the total volume. In the question, you can find the total volume here. The total volume is 9,603 cubic millimeters. Let's go back to our model and check the final volume for our model. In SolidWorks, in order to check the total volume, you can click on the Value tab and then select Mass Properties. And here you can see the total volume. The total volume is 9,603 cubic millimeters. This is exactly same as the number that we found in the question, which is showing our model is correct and there's no problem with it. Okay, that's it. That's a wrap for this video. I hope you liked it. If you have any questions or comments, please leave comments down below. Thanks again for watching. My name is Ruzbe. Hope to see you again soon in the next videos.